I'm going to predict that the car that rolls the furthest down the track will be the winning car for tonight, under the power of the Mousetrap.
All right, who's ready?
Now, the actual Mousetrap cars, we're going to use a guide wire, but we won't even worry about that yet. We'll just see what rolls best on here. Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's go from a lower spot because at least that will shouldn't reach the end, but it'll be a good determination how fast it is.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark. You want to let it roll like maybe 3 times? 10 or 3 times. See that?
Blow on it.
Can't you get some can't you grind up some from lead pencils or something?
Actually, you go to any Boy Scout store sells a tube of graphite.
Get the real graphite?
It's little graphite they shoot in the wheels when you Pinewood Derby. Oh yeah.
Oh, you know a little trick? Register right here.
They sell that where at hobby stores?
Yeah, hobby stores. And even like most places, any place that sells a Pinewood Derby box car.
That one's gone.
Whoa.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Maybe Mark?
Yeah.
How'd you get the spin suit?
Where are you?
This one's cooking. Wow. I wonder what, it's really interesting to see what the difference would be. I'm really interested in the difference.
So I would say show you get 186
I gotta
inches.
shoot some stuff.
Yeah. You got one more, right?
That's 2.
Right at the point, because
I
obviously
set right here.
Okay, I know, Mark. Did you start here? But, you know, because obviously the higher up you start, you'll get a little bit more potential energy, right?
Okay, I start right here in that spot.
Okay.
Right next to
Maybe we
that
should shut
one.
Mark down a little bit higher. Well, other than the starting point, the only other thing that would make a difference is the friction. So maybe Cheryl used a little bit more graphite.
It's a little
Now,
farther.
yeah, his one off to the side. If you want to mark, just if it keeps going to the right, let me try it a little further to the left. You know what I mean? So you gotta compensate for it. And you know, on CPEP day, it's the same thing. If they put their car, I mean, the track is going to be flat, but if they put it on there like that, it's going to want to, and that, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of kids don't realize that. They're going to, if I were them, I would tell them to make sure they get that car lined up, you know, as straight as possible.
Uh-oh. A little better.
What technically is the front of the bed?
At this point, it really doesn't matter. What I like about this kit is you can flip it around either way without really drastically changing the chassis to use a different length arm. I keep this stored so we don't use it during, you know, to do our testing. Any kind of inclined plane. And the thing is, if you have a shorter ramp, well then, I mean, it's still all relative because every car will, you know, be going the same distance. So do we agree that you have the fastest rolling chassis?
I guess.
Okay.
How
So
long
then
is
I'm gonna guess that you're maybe the fastest. So, I mean, this alone, that's taking out the variable of a different length arm on the Mousetrap, a different, you know, powered spring. So with, you know, 3 cars theoretically identical, they all should be the same weight, right? Same CDs, same everything. So I would have to attribute it to the graphite. All right. Wow.
That's when you brought
She
it.
said, wait a minute, you brought your own?
No,
It's like
you brought your-
pool player that brings us stuff.
That's right.
Yep, we need the, that orange thing, or the yellow thing. That's actually, nowadays supposedly that's supposed to be scented with something that will attract the mice. So I don't think I would pull those off and leave them in your desk. I'd take them out, throw them out. You know.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah. These are the kind of you don't need to take that off. Sometimes a staple comes with it. If not, pull the staple out. And then this little part, okay, this little bail, we can take that out and the staple. So then you should just have a mousetrap with the bail here and the spring. You know. Spring and then this bail. And I would just be careful because if the kids really just keep snapping these, over and over again, these staples sometimes do pull out. And if you have some students kind of like I have, and you don't want them like going up and saying, "Hey Meredith," and like that, what I would do is just see this the part of the spring that's over that bail, just move that out of the way if you and then it's no one's gonna get hurt with it. Okay. Now, if you want, like I said, you could put this on the car, and you could use it just as it is. But I'll tell you that if you use an arm that's this short, it's going to spin the rear wheels too fast, and you're not going to make it down that track. So you're going to want to extend it to a certain degree. How much is up to you? Okay. So what I would do is hold the spring like this. Okay. And then you could pull this part right out. Okay. See how I kind of unhooked it? Okay.
Free.
Yeah, it's free. And then if you push it just a little bit more, this part will come right out. Okay. And you can let the spring come up slowly so it doesn't go flying. You good? What's that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can just hold. That's okay. Just hold the spring down with your finger and just kind of like pull all this up.
Oh, you leave the spring loose?
Yeah, you can leave it loose. I know it looks like a mess now, but it's easy to put back together. Okay. So once you get the bail out, right? See, remember how this was hooked over here? Okay. So what I would do is I would open it up, open up like that again, and then just kind of bend it right here to try to make it straight. Okay. And then if you bend it one more time, now you have a pretty long lever arm without additional coat hangers or anything like that. Any other kind of looks good, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Hopefully you can just bend it straight again. Yeah, I would bend that one and then rebend that one. We have extra mouse traps if that's messed up.
Yeah, like that.
Yep, perfect. Okay. And now, when you look at the spring, you're probably like, all right, how the heck does this thing go back in there, right? But if you just push it to the point where it reminds me of like a grasshopper, the way it would hop up. You just push it down like this. Okay. Put it back in there. It really doesn't matter whether you push it in sideways from this way or this way. But if you put it back in. Okay. So now you have a lever arm that was about twice the length of what you had. So take it, and you'll know if you're doing it right because it's not going to want to just sit on there. If it just sits there like that, you know that the spring's not going to be in the right position. So you kind of have to push it down, and put your thumb on here, and just whoops. Even if it's okay if it sides off a little bit, you can side it in this way or this way. It doesn't really matter. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. It's got to go this way with that little lever. Okay.
Catch it.
And then we can put that on there. And now you've just taken and you've made this length, the length of this arm like twice as long as it was.